It's presence over presence. Welcome to Woo Woo Wednesdays. I am Devi Jade, and with me today is the ever wonderfully and present Dr. Jane.
Hey, I am present, and your presence is a present.
We could go 10 minutes with that stuff, you guys.
Yeah, we are. We're going to go about 10 minutes with it because it's the topic today. So, I mean, especially, gift giving season, always is the gift giving season, but which means more presence or your presence, your physical and mental and emotional being tapped into other people or just giving a gift. Personally, I would rather have you next to me investing your time in me than have you give me something.
Well, I'd rather get the presents.
Really? Because remember that time when we were in Bali and we had dinner at this really interesting place, and there were these little heads on the table that were planters, and they freaked you out. I've been thinking about ordering one of those for you. You sure you want the present?
What are those?
They were weird. They were like blue baby heads or something.
Oh, I know. I'm like, we're talking about presents, and she's talking about heads on a table.
I tried to sneak off and go to the gift shop because they had them in there, and you figured out what I was doing, and you were like, "Don't you dare!"
No. So what do we do? That's actually a good lead-in because you have people, and especially now, everybody can just go to Amazon or they can go to whatever platform and buy everything. So now that this time of year comes around, it's like, okay, so what do I get? Another gift card for them because that's about all you can do. It's really difficult when before we would have it, we kind of in our mind, we'd put it in our mind all year long, like, oh, it's going to be so great. And now it's like, oh, well, it's not, I don't know. Is it great?
It's the time together that is so important. It's, to me at least, and I love giving gifts and seeing people get things that they like. But, my husband and I had this conversation a couple years ago. And then last year after the holiday season, I was like, you know what, we are doing this. I said, we're going to take it down a notch with the volume.
Mm-hmm.
We just felt like this burden to have such a large volume of things given to our kids, or a certain caliber of a gift given to certain other family members or whatnot. And it's really just a bunch of BS, honestly, because we don't need anything. There might be some things that we want, but it's really about the time together. I'd very much rather invest in the memory of you freaking out at that little baby head planter on the table. Guys, it was so funny because I kept twisting it around so that it would stare straight at Jade, and then I kind of like slowly moved it forward toward her. It was really funny. But and so I was going to see if they had a little one just for me to give her as like a gag gift, but we wouldn't have the weird baby head on our bookshelf now looking at us, but we have the memory of that time, and that's really what it's about. So, how do you get over the gift wrapped type of present and really pour your authentic presence into this time of year when we're stuck in that material world?
So that's another segue that I can add to. So all year we've been practicing how to be present. Hopefully that's what we've been practicing, because as we know, that thing that came along with, that little word really was an opportunity. It was there to help us to be present, to understand our own presence in the world. So there's all these different ways that you can say that word. And now that we're at that culmination of the end of this year, practice some of those things that you might have learned. You might want to write down, what did this moment in time give me? Because we're looking out and what can we do, but what did the year give me?
Yeah, put that into the comments. Let us know your answer to that. Just go open up the comments, just type in something, because everyone had different things come out of the experience that the world had this year. And some people, there were I'm not saying all of them were rosy, but some people had job loss. Other people, I know moms who had literally for years been saying, I would just really like a break. I just really like a break. Well, guess what? You not only got a break, you got a break with your kids. You watched everything that Netflix and Hulu had to offer, and then you were just staring at each other, and then you remembered you have this whole closet full of games, and you started to play Uno and Sorry and Twister and go on walks. And I know several families that didn't have a family pet, and they were like, you know what, we're going to get a puppy. And there's a lot of really beautiful things. Put that, tell us what some of those beautiful things are, and how can you bring that spirit of, hey, wait, there are people around me who I just kind of super love. How can you bring that realization into this time of year, and something that can't be wrapped in a box?
No, it's true. And I don't know that we need that much more stuff. We've been trained to feel like we need to go out and get presents, but it all at the same time, it gives us a lot of stress. We get, anxiety, and it goes into anxiety, and then we feel guilty, and then we wonder if they're going to like it. And then all that kind of guilt and stress goes on, and then they get it. And then you're like, well, did they like it? So why don't we just push all that out? Okay. And just really just be present with yourself and give yourself a moment of presence, a present moment, and then just say, maybe I'll just do this, because whatever came through really will be what is the best for that person and you, so that you can bring that together, the one hand together. Yeah, that presence.
What is one of the most meaningful gifts that you've ever been given?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. No, the other girl who's here. Yes, I'm asking you.
I mean, I know it sounds so cliche, but it does. But the first thing that came to me was my children. It really was. I don't even know that it did. So I'm just giving it to you guys because, babies are very precious, and I'm not discounting those that do or don't or whatever, but it is life. And so that's one of the most precious things I've received. There's so many. Yeah. I love the precious moment thingies. I could go all over. Yeah. So again, we're coming back to gratitude, actually. So what's yours? That popped into your head.
Before I tell you what mine is, I mean, obviously the people in my life, but you said, you remember all these different little precious moments. So it's the presence that's your real gift. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what we're talking about. When I asked you the question, my intention was, like, what's the most meaningful wrapped item that you've ever unwrapped? I love that that's not where your brain went, because of course it's not. Because if any of you guys ever asked Devi Jade a question, which you can, if you just want to type questions in, we'll come back and answer you. I promise the answer that you get is not going to be anywhere in the hemisphere you thought it was going to be in. Nobody even try to figure out how that brain works. It's beautiful and unique. But
it's apparently blue.
Okay.
Blue baby head.
That's what I mean. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. I love you, Jade. Well, I think that I've had several. I love gifting things to people.
Yeah.
But when someone really puts their heart and soul into giving something to me, it really means something. And my daughter was 7 years old, and she was in a store with my ex-husband, her dad, and noticed a little cheese crock, like a little piece of pottery with a wooden top on it, and it had cheese in it. But she didn't care what was in it, but it looked like, it's white with blue. It looked like this pottery that my mother, who passed away 10 years ago, used to collect. And so to her, there was an emotional connection there, that she thought that I would love this thing because it looked like what my mother loved. It just meant so, like, the thought process that went into it is so precious and dear to me. So that's one of my most prized possessions, because of all the thought that went into it. And it's a cheese crock. If you turn it upside down, it's like tells you what kind of cheese was in it and like the company that it came from. So, but to me, it's not a cheese crock. It's my sweet little girl's heart.
Yeah, and I know that people say you got to get rid of your clutter, get rid of things, and I guess this is where I couldn't get past an A++ in this section because I am like you. I'm extremely sentimental, and I think I had some tiny little piece of it when we were moving me again from San Diego to here in Salt Lake. I had some little weird papers that, had writing. And my daughter said, "Really, Mom? Really?" I said, "No, but you don't understand. There's this writing down there." And I really do keep little things like that. I took a letter that my son gave me. I gift myself sometimes. And this is a presents thing. So he like wrote this, "You're the best mom. Let's go on a date." When they do those things, I literally put it in a glass frame and it's in my bedroom because those to me, again, are those prized moments, those precious moments that just reminds me of these little people that come to us and they just love us so much and they teach us that just being present with those feelings and that love that they have to offer, it just opens your heart. So whether you're a mom or whether you're the auntie or whether you're a friend or babysitting with you, just allow those little kids and bring you the little dandelion or whatever it is. Those are the presence and being in that presence with that beautiful light that comes through us and touches our hearts.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. And I agree, as a mom, I love to keep the little things, I have pared down some, but recently I really desire to be a minimalist and we have a lot of stuff. So that those two things don't really go together. But what I started to do is let things move on to their next life. But I've taken pictures of them. And so I'm gifting myself, and I don't know when this book's going to be ready, but I'm gifting myself a book with pictures. And every time I take a picture, I'll upload it to the book and then I'll go and I'll write why this thing was so important to me, what I love about it, what it felt like to hold it, but then I'm still letting this thing go. Now there's some things like the little notes that my daughter would write me or things like that I'm going to keep, the actual hard copy of, but a lot of stuff, I'm finding great peace in exploring why the thing is so important to me, recording that, in a book that we're going to publish hard copy and then letting it pass on. But I think that it comes down to, we get so wrapped up in the materialism of this time, this season, that we forget about what the real gift is. And for anyone who's hearing this, if the point hasn't gotten driven home yet, the real gift is you.
That's true. And I'm so glad that you shared that. So, you can listen to us and you can list it down, but this is the action month. This is when just do the most little thing ever. Maybe that you haven't talked to your mom in a while and all of a sudden you feel like, oh, I need to, it's a present moment, take action, and the both of you will benefit. Yeah. So these holiday little woo-woo Wednesdays, these are our, and we love them. So come and join us again. And she's going to say the tie-up thing.
Sure.
So do remember to subscribe to us, you guys. I mean, we're building a little building. But ask your friends to come. We want them to come.
Yeah. Share this. You can use the share button and it'll give you all sorts of ways to share it. And then make sure that you like the videos. So if we do a topic that you like, give us a thumbs up and we'll say, oh, look at all the thumbs up on that one. And then we can do something similar. You can also tell us in the comments what you would like us to do. And don't forget.
Not everything to do, just some things to do.
Some things. And do please subscribe to us and then hit the bell so that you'll get a notification the next time that we drop a Woo Woo Wednesday video for you or any other video here to help you live a life with lower stress, more happiness, and more success.